Welcome to a world where the lines between power, madness, and sheer absurdity blur into something truly bizarre. The Roman Empire, a civilization that gave us incredible architecture, military genius, and great thinkers, also gave us some of the most shocking stories you'll ever hear. So buckle up, because in today's video, you'll see 5 of the most bizarre and downright disgusting things that really happened in ancient Rome. From emperors declaring war on the sea to bloodthirsty medical rituals, these stories aren't just bizarre. They're a chilling reminder of just how far humans will go when power and madness collide. Let's take a look at the Roman Empire, where the line between legend and madness is often hard to see. You won't believe this actually happened. Ready to discover the weirdest secrets in history? Let's go. What if I told you that one of Rome's most infamous emperors declared war on the sea? No, this isn't some bad joke. It really happened, and it's a tale of madness, power, and pure absurdity. Let's rewind to AD 39. Emperor Caligula, already known for his eccentricities, was about to make history in a way no one expected. He wasn't battling barbarian tribes or leading a military campaign. No. He was preparing for something far more ridiculous. His target? The ocean. Yes, you heard that, right? Caligula was going to wage war on the sea itself. Now, this wasn't just a bad day at the beach. Caligula, in his infinite wisdom, was convinced that Neptune, the god of the sea, had slighted him. Maybe Neptune didn't send enough waves his way. Who knows? Either way, Caligula ordered his soldiers to march to the shores and attack. Imagine this: Roman legions in full battle gear, charging into the waves with spears raised as if they were facing an enemy army. They were fighting the sea, and in true Caligula fashion, they didn't stop there. He had his men collect seashells. These weren't just souvenirs, they were war trophies. Can you picture that? A Roman soldier, battle-hardened, marching back to camp with a handful of shells, proudly declaring, "I've conquered the sea. It gets better." Caligula didn't just sit back and laugh at the spectacle. No, he went a step further. He demanded that the soldiers plunder the ocean like they would a city, claiming victory over an invisible enemy. The sea had been defeated, and the shells, of course, were displayed as proof. What was his next move? Declaring Neptune as his prisoner? But why? Why would an emperor with absolute power decide to wage war against the ocean? Maybe it was the madness, the ego, or just the boredom of ruling an empire that stretched from Britain to Egypt. But one thing is for sure: Caligula's war against the sea proved that in the Roman Empire, even the most absurd ideas could become reality. What if I told you that an emperor once gave his horse a seat in the Senate? No! This isn't some medieval fantasy or a quirky animal documentary. This is ancient Rome, and it's a true story. One of the most bizarre moments in the empire's history. Enter Caligula, the emperor who took madness to new extremes. We've all heard the rumors, his cruelty, his ego, his unpredictable outbursts, but here's where it gets interesting. In a moment that left even his most loyal followers scratching their heads, Caligula decided that his prize horse, Incitatus, deserved more than just oats in a stable. No, he deserved power. It started out innocently enough. Caligula adored Incitatus. I mean, who wouldn't? The horse was flashy, with a coat that shone like gold and eyes that seemed to say, "I am destined for greatness." But Caligula didn't stop at affection. He went further, much further. The emperor, in one of his greatest displays of power, appointed Incitatus a senator. Yes, you heard correctly. A horse, a creature that could not even speak, much less write laws, was now a member of the Senate. Caligula, ever the master of absurdity, didn't stop there. He gave Incitatus a marble house. Marble for a horse! And not just any old house, a luxurious, opulent one fit for an emperor. Think palatial rooms, expensive furniture, the works. All for a 4-legged creature. Now you might be thinking, this is just a joke, right? But it wasn't. Caligula wasn't joking. He was sending a message, but the message got lost in the madness. Was he mocking the Senate, showing how little he cared about their opinions? Was he trying to show that anyone could have power, even a horse? Or maybe, just maybe, he had finally lost touch with reality altogether. But here's the thing, as absurd as it was, Incitatus may have had a point. After all, would a horse really do worse than some of the corrupt senators? The truth is, we will never know. Imagine this. You're in ancient Rome, surrounded by the chaos of the arena. The roar of the crowd fills the air, and in the center, two gladiators fight to the death. But what if I told you that some of the spectators weren't there for the spectacle? They were there for something darker, something far more gruesome. Blood. Human blood. And not just any blood, the blood of the gladiators. You see, in ancient Rome, a bizarre and chilling belief existed. Some believed that drinking the blood of fallen gladiators could cure epilepsy. Yes, blood was thought to have medicinal powers, but not just any blood, fresh blood from a freshly killed fighter. Let that sink in. Imagine watching a gladiator fall in the sand, his life slipping away in front of you, and then without hesitation, someone rushing to collect his blood in a cup. For some Romans, this wasn't just morbid curiosity. It was a form of treatment. If you suffered from epilepsy, all you had to do was drink the blood of the deceased warrior, and voila! Your seizures would be gone. But why? Where did this idea come from? It wasn't just superstition. Some believed that the vitality of the gladiator, his courage, strength, and vitality, lived on in his blood. By consuming it, they thought they could absorb some of that power. But let's be real for a moment. How did anyone even come up with this idea? Did they watch a gladiator die and think, hey, let me try that blood? Maybe it'll fix my brain. Or did desperation drive people to such grotesque lengths? Here's where it gets even darker. These were not isolated incidents. There are reports of crowds eagerly awaiting the bloodletting, practically demanding the blood of their fallen heroes. Some would argue that the gladiators, who were seen as little more than commodities for entertainment, were also seen as tools for a strange kind of medical ritual. So, the next time you think about the gladiators, the men who fought for their lives in the arenas of Rome, remember this. Their blood wasn't just spilled for entertainment, it was spilled for something far more sinister, far more terrifying. What if I told you that the Roman Empire once taxed urine? Sounds like a joke, right? But no, this is real history, and it's one of the strangest, most unexpected stories from the reign of Emperor Vespasian. Picture this, the streets of Rome bustling with life, and amidst the noise, you have a problem. Public restrooms. They were everywhere, but they weren't the clean, sanitized places we think of today. They were cesspools of filth, public latrines used by thousands of people every day. But what really made them valuable wasn't what went in them. It was what came out. Yes, urine. Roman urine was considered a precious commodity. Why? Because it was used in various industries, most notably for tanning leather and laundering clothes. The ammonia in urine made it an excellent cleaning agent. And so, to capitalize on this, Emperor Vespasian decided to impose a tax on urine. Yes, urine collected from these public latrines. Now, before you laugh, consider this. The tax was a brilliant financial move. Public urinals were used by almost everyone, from the poor to the wealthy. So Vespasian made sure that he could tax the very liquid flowing through the streets of Rome. And get this. The urine was collected by fullones, professional laundry workers who would sell it to tanneries and other industries. Imagine the hustle. People literally paid to pee, and someone else cashed in on the leftovers. But Vespasian didn't stop there. He embraced the irony of it all. And when his son Titus questioned the morality of taxing such a revolting thing, Vespasian reportedly held up a coin and said, "Pecunia non olet." Money doesn't stink. It's a simple phrase, but it's one that carries a deeper truth. The emperor didn't care where the money came from. Urine, taxes, whatever. All he cared about was the profit. And if it took collecting urine to keep the empire's coffers full, then so be it. But here's the kicker. In the grand history of Rome, where emperors bled gold and lived like gods, this strange, smelly tax remains one of the most bizarre ways the empire turned a profit. Imagine, taxes on things we would find disgusting today helped fuel one of the world's greatest empires. Imagine this. The Great Colosseum is packed. The air is thick with anticipation. But this isn't a gladiatorial fight. No, this is far more terrifying. In the center of the stage stands Nero, the emperor of Rome. Not in armor, not with a sword, but holding a lyre he's about to perform. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nero, that crazy emperor, a singer. Yes, indeed. Nero had peculiar hobby. He loved the spotlight, but not just as an emperor. No, he craved the role of an artist, a performer, and not in some humble backroom setting. Oh no, he wanted everyone to see. You see, Nero wasn't content with ruling the world. He wanted to rule the stage too. He loved to sing, to act, and to recite poetry, and he would drag the people of Rome into his performances. But here's the twist. He didn't just perform for the willing. No, Nero's shows were mandatory. You're a Roman citizen dragged into a theater, forced to sit through Nero's performances. You can't leave, not unless you want to die. And I'm not exaggerating. Nero's shows could last for hours, sometimes even days. The performances were often torturously long, but if you dared to stand up and walk out, it would be your last mistake. People were arrested, some even executed. You weren't there to enjoy the performance. You were there to worship Nero's genius. But the real horror? Nero was awful at it. His singing was described as screeching, his acting was clumsy, and his poetry was laughable. But no one dared say a word. Imagine sitting there surrounded by thousands of Romans, all trapped in a theater with no escape, all pretending to enjoy his masterpieces, knowing that even the slightest hint of dissent could mean death. And yet, despite the tyranny, Nero's performances continued. Why? Because no one dared to challenge him. The emperor's ego had grown so large, he truly believed he was a gift to the arts, and anyone who disagreed was swiftly silenced. So, let me ask you this. If you were in that theater listening to Nero butcher a song for hours, knowing that leaving could cost you your life, how long would you last before you started questioning reality? How far can an emperor's madness go before it consumes everyone around him? So there you have it, 5 of the most bizarre, shocking, and downright disgusting events of the Roman Empire. But here's the question. Would you endure Nero's horrific performances or drink the blood of gladiators to heal yourself? I want to hear your thoughts. Comment below and I'd love to hear from you. And if you're fascinated by the weirdest stories in history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the community. We've got more jaw-dropping tales coming your way that you won't want to miss.